civility. And that's going to shock the people when Negroes speak with civility. We got to clown him, that's natural. It wouldn't be fun or humorous. Part of the punishment is for the white man to get clowned. That's part of his punishment. Okay. We don't want to forget somewhere over a rainbow. You know. Now, in 2002, that was one of our themes, if anybody remember. That's the same thing when Khadijah started a fight, right, with Karima. They all forget the little, they didn't mean so much stupidity and trickery. The niggas forget, they don't, they have no idea of what they've been doing. They do it and they don't just forget it, oh, that's right? But they don't know how it fits that 2002, man, that was 16 years ago. But 2002 started this last session. That's what started the last session. That okay, they're gonna be bad, we're gonna straighten that out. And that's what we did, slowly but surely. We dismantled their whole thing and came out with no loss. Yeah, we dismantled their whole thing. Because where we was in San Diego and other places, we didn't put a whole lot of money in that. We let them. Why? Because we knew what they was going to do from the get-go. If somebody jumps in here and says, I want to be your follower and I'm going to San Diego, I said, sure, go on out there and knock yourself out. But I'm not going to put nothing that I shouldn't. You know what I mean? So when they pack up and leave, they like, oh, you left. I said, well, good. I ain't never said a word to none of them, right? Because that's what they were supposed to do. We were fighting the fight that we were supposed to fight. So somewhere over the rainbow is the idea that there's a place, a condition, where blue skies. Now, we're not working for that place for ourselves, because we're going to be working for Accra. So don't expect over the rainbow, waterfalls and all that. The last thing is define your own future. Define your own future. Remember, write your own book. So you notice that we have said we won't be straying too far from several months back from the original ideas. The last thing is there's a song of freedom. And don't everybody hear it. Everybody don't hear it. There is song of freedom. It's always there, and it's some people hear it and some people don't. Some people it passes them by. But every now and then, some good people will pick up on it. And that's what we hope will, the people here will pick up on that song of freedom. The only thing I know about it is there's no other song that good. And and I'll close with this, the white man's job, the way that's what people want. If people want a white man's job, like I was talking about this right here, just inside the United States. Hell, 95% of the people haven't even went around the United States to every state and to see the Everglades and the deserts and the mountains, pastures, all Allah's creation, and all they got to do is jump in a rent-a-car and get out on the road and see what's this all about. People don't even do it. They don't. They play with their phone, right? And my kids, I brought them pictures of the Grand Canyon. They put them up like it's wonderful, but now they don't have to see it. I said, do you know that's only 2% of the Grand Canyon? Do you know the Grand Canyon, they call it Grand Canyon. It's a big boy. What the heck? That canyon I showed you in there, that's not the Grand Canyon. That's it's the steepest canyon in the United States. But it's not the Grand Canyon, it's the steepest. Don't nobody want to see it. The people like a video game, right? More that I can't do nothing about it. I quit if that's what they want. Good for you. But man, Allah's creation, you see it spread out like a couch, and that's all it is. If don't nobody want to do it, it's up to them. So thank y'all very much. Are there any questions? Any questions at all? Any comments?
Can you put your finger on anything that the Muslims are focused on? Any particular outside of Palestine that the Muslims have put any effort behind?
When you say the Muslims in general?
Muslims, well, yeah, I guess the Muslims in general.
Okay. The world is on the road. If you look at what's happening in Syria, that's our team that won that hands down. It even conglomerated up. We was talking about Mania, we was talking about and the white man fixed it up to where he gonna fix the Turks, and then that's gonna make he's gonna fix the Kurds, and that's gonna make the Turks mad, and then that's gonna make the Iranians, and then the dumb Kurds and part of Iraq was waving flags, Israeli flags, remember last time? Yeah. Okay. Look, Mosul was beginning to get life again. That laid it to the ground. What they want to do was make a Middle East, a new Middle East. They will make a Middle East. They will make a Middle East. But the Middle East will be Iran, Iraq, Syria. Okay. There's one thing about the dirty politics. I will say it, but it may not be true enough. But the United States, do you notice after World War II, the United States built up who? Japan and Germany. Why did they do that? Because Japan and Germany are natural leaders. And if you don't give them some, maybe in 50 years, maybe 100 years, they're going to come back like the Germans did. They're going to come back. So, they jumped on the Marshall Plan, helped Europe, but it got Germany and it got Japan on its feet in a hurry. Transistor radios, all that stuff from Japan. So, there is a weird proposition going on right now. The people that kind of run the country, they may have switched from Saudi Arabia a long time ago. Think about it. And switched to Iran. Why? Because Iran is the natural leader of the Persian Gulf. And ain't nothing you can do, no matter how many, they've already seen it, billions, it's still a bomb. Right? And Iran is just still so. Boss man can say it's the Persian Gulf. So they can play little old nickel and dime games. You don't never know. You never know. That's one of the reasons that our friends could be playing with boss man. Because boss man will promise them without ethics. That's what they promise. And Donald Trump is temporary. Do you remember what's his name that went all around the country? What's his name? Oh, funny-headed looking man. Kerry. Remember? What was he telling them? Hey, don't worry about this guy. Let's stick with what we got. To make who? Iran the natural leader and Iran subservient to America. Same as the show. Yeah, it's okay. You gotta remember, some of the brothers I talked to, that's exactly what they're saying. They don't talk revolution. We got to have economy. I said, you can't put economy before the revolution. Imam Khomeini said, yeah. I said, when they said we got to have meat, he said we didn't have a revolution to have meat. I said, remember the big banana scandal? We don't have nose. We don't even said we didn't have a revolution to have no damn bananas. Right? The politicians, your friend and mine, they're pragmatic. Now, you can beat them at this. You can keep that running if you want. I'll give you an example. You know the white man, he was really serious about turning China capitalist. was serious about that. Should I wait a few seconds? Okay, so the white man was all the way in China's corner as far as turning the capitalist. Because Deng Xiaoping, y'all heard of him? Deng Xiaoping said it don't make no difference whether the cat is black or white, as long as it catch mice. He says it don't make no difference whether it's a capitalist or a communist, as long as it works. Okay, now, where the U.S. lost out is, they thought that they would trick the Chinese. And the Chinese made them, anytime you brought anything into China, you had to bring the equipment and you had to bring the know-how, right? So, all of a sudden you looked up and they're making Fords in China, but they have the technology. Now, here's the big deal. They thought that if they can get the Chinese hooked on all of that money and what have you, that the Chinese would fold and they would, the biggest threat that the Americans, the Western have, is that you take their property. And so the communists, so they thought, would not take their property. So now they got the Chinese, but the Chinese tricked them. The Chinese got everything they wanted. The Chinese got all the technology, all of this and all of that. And now it's too late. And you read the Chinese and the Japanese are friendly. You got China's, you got the Japanese, and you got the Koreans. Finished? As long as they're a solid block, they got all the other people in their arena blocked. So they got, you can't do nothing to them, no matter what happened. Then you got Malaysia and Indonesia, they still over in that area. India is an oddball, but they can control it. They can't nobody, those, hey man, you can't do nothing with them monsters. And they're already homeboys. Who's the odd man out? The white man. He tried to use socialism. He tried to use capitalism to break the back of the Chinese system. But when early this year, I said that the Chinese were saying the same song we were singing. Marxist-Leninism with Chinese characteristics. Mao Zedong thought, and Deng Xiaoping thought, they put everybody in there. Right? But it's our way of doing things. They surrounded, remember we always talk about circling and suppression? Look at the white man. Look at the white man. He's been, I said, boss man, you gotta look around, man. Boss man been surrounded since I don't know when. The Caribbean Initiative, 8, 9 years ago. The African Initiative, right?
Right.
The European Initiative. Now, where's the Chinamen? Right down in South America. Boss man is surrounded. And he didn't cut himself off from Canada. Everybody's mad at him. It's suicide. It's suicide. What we're saying that dear believers is boss man bites the dust. Boss man bites the dust. Encircled and suppressed by his own self. So,
Well, some say that's how he started. He colonized his own self when he came here.
yeah, boss man, boss man won't go away, but he's not big boss man no more. He ain't big boss man no more. He just ain't big boss man. And then nobody, you don't see nobody jumping up and down. That's a boss. What are you doing? And I close. Is it still on?
Yeah.
I can't imagine. No, I can't imagine. Ain't no such saying. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine that America is in this condition right now, after less than a couple of years, I don't know. But that's the Quranic position. That's the Hadith position. And that's fall of Babylon, all in one day. It don't mean one exact day, boy, but this was quick. So thank you all very much. Are there any more questions or comments? Okay, alhamdulillah.